I hope everyone's having a nice holiday season. I appreciate the comments left on the last video. Your comments made me think more about why I put off opening pieces of mail related to finances and then hung on to them. Part of it has to do with a lack of confidence when it comes to finances, like I'm not knowledgeable enough about how to make good financial decisions, or I don't understand all the terminology. Avoiding opening the mail is me avoiding making a decision. Another part has to do with perfectionism. Well, if I'm going to understand this stuff, I need to read all of the literature they've sent me, and I don't have time right now to do that perfectly. You know that routine? I'll delve into it later when I have more time, which never happens. It's time to put on my big girl pants and remember that making a decision is better than not making one at all. Since I had that recent shift in perspective with financial documents, I've been facing them, not in a blitz, but tackling a few pieces at a time. I get frustrated when so many envelopes have important information enclosed printed on them. Many times it's legal mumbo jumbo that's important to the sender to protect their butt, like their privacy notices and prospectuses that I can't even interpret. I really wish they wouldn't use important information enclosed so liberally, but it is what it is. This one turned out to be truly important. It was a check from my dad's employee savings plan for over $1,300. The check is from May 2017. I just opened it in December 2019. Friends and family of those with hoarding issues can get frustrated with the snail-like pace of their loved one when it comes to decluttering. And I understand why they get frustrated. They want to see their loved one get out of the mess. And to them, because they don't have hoarding issues, it seems like a much simpler solution. Just throw out all the old stuff. But it's very possible there are valuable things, like a big check, buried in all the junk. So I hope friends and family can try to understand the importance of how things are sorted through, and especially the importance of their loved one being involved in the sorting and discarding process. The individual who struggles with hoarding needs to process their possessions as they let them go. If someone else clears all the clutter without the participation of the individual hasn't learned how to process things. So what will happen when future things enter their home? They'll most likely handle it the way they have in the past, which means they likely won't handle it. Obviously, I had put this one aside. And when I pulled this check out of the envelope over 2 years after I received it, I immediately felt a pit in my stomach. My initial reaction was to berate myself for being so irresponsible. But then I paused. I put myself in the shoes of a good friend and told myself, Dad had just passed 6 months prior. Pretty much all of the paperwork having to do with his death fell on me. I was in a state of overwhelm. I was still grieving, and I did the best I could at the time. I'm learning to deal with financial mail when it comes in. I have phenomenal coping skills. I will call the company and find out how to remedy this. Everything's going to be okay. Pausing in the moment enabled me to make a U-turn from self-criticism to self-compassion, and I was able to forgive myself for the mistake. Remember, self-compassion isn't about simply letting ourselves off the hook. It's about being kind to ourselves in challenging moments so that we're in a better position to act in a helpful and productive way. Hating on myself only puts me in fight, flight, or freeze mode, where the thinking part of my brain shuts down. When I'm in that state, I have a very narrow perspective that focuses on the negative. When I can't see the bigger picture, I don't see a way out. By exercising self-compassion, I didn't shut myself down with self-criticism. I was encouraged to take steps to remedy the situation. The following morning, I called the company to see about having the check reissued. That is another story with another lesson I learned, which I'll share in the next video.